Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Knottie Spider channel. If you're new here, welcome in, and if you're old here, welcome back, Knottie Spider gang. So guys, today is week we're on week 6. I guess I didn't highlight anything. Nah, that has to be a lie. Okay. Yeah, we're on week 6, bro. So, unfortunately, guys, no sé qué me pasó, but you forgot to highlight the important parts. So, we did journal, okay? A few days I didn't journal, but for the most part, we journaled. And just to start off with here, we're gonna go ahead and okay, so this week, in today's week, guys, we are recovering a sense of abundance. This is very important because a lot of us feel like scarcity mindset, which prevents us from, look, I hate how my hair looks. Give me a second. I just wet my hair a little bit just because it's been acting up, girl. This is why we're wearing our hats. Anytime that we wear our hats, it's because we're having a bad hair day or because we're trying to look cute with our outfit. So, in recovering a sense of abundance, I like this week's topic because that's something that I struggle with a lot, that I've noticed. Because look, guys, I'm in a journey of recovering myself. I'm not fully recovered. This is why I bought this book, so that it could help me fully recover as an artist and as a person overall. A lot of the times I feel like asking God for financial help makes me feel guilty. I feel like it's very money, and this is what this week talks about, how money is surrounded by negativity. It has a negative aspect to it. We think of it as she's money hungry, or money is materialistic things. Money's the devil. I say that. I actually be saying money's the devil. But because there's certain people that worship money, and we should not worship money. We should worship God. And all that stuff. And I was talking to my brother about how money is very powerful and money carries a lot of energy. And he said, imagine how gold, when people found gold, it made them go crazy and kill each other. And that's how powerful money is. It has a huge energy to it, a huge currency to it, to the point that people fight. So it brings a lot of a negative aspect to it, you know what I'm saying? But she says in this book, this part is that money is a good thing. Money is part of God. Money is given by God. Money is granted from God. God is the one who can supply so much money to you, and I love that because it brings it back to God. This is why this book has been working for me a lot, because it's very spiritual, and it even says it to a spiritual path to a higher creativity. It's very, very spiritual, and most of you guys know I'm very, very spiritual person. I love God. I love talking about God. I love worshiping God. And for the people who struggle with their relationship to God, with God, the ones who don't believe in God, struggle with believing in God, I can't convince you, persuade you to believe in the most highest power, the God. I can't convince you. You're on your own journey, and you just gotta figure out if this works for you or not. Me, when I was younger, I was atheist. I became atheist when I was like a teenager. And it's because I was going through a lot of stuff. As before I became a teenager and throughout my teenager years, that is when I became the most atheist. Until I hit 16 years old, that's when my whole life really changed. And most of you guys know what happened at age 16, but that's for a different topic. And I think I've mentioned it here in my other episodes. So if you want to know what's up, just go ahead and look at my other episodes. But that is when I started believing in God, because I had my first encounter with God at age 16. But prior to that, I was very atheist, and everyone who would try to shove it down my throat about believing in God made me just get more pushed and pushed away from believing in God. And I kind of blamed it on those people too. So I understand where atheists come from, and that's why I don't want to shove it down any atheist throat. If you don't like to label yourself an atheist, that's just how I say it, just because it's easier for me. But whatever you label yourself, but you know what I'm saying. If you don't believe in God, you struggle in believing in God, then I'm talking about you. And this book is very spiritual. It talks a lot about God. So if you don't believe in God, this book might not work out for you. But if you still have hope that there is a God, then I recommend this book. But in all reality, just think about it, like, and if you feel like God is not gonna like you because you've committed sin, you're not perfect, you're not a Christian, God accepts anyone no matter what. God even accepts murderers. So what makes you think he's not gonna accept you? He accepts everyone, no matter what you've done in your past. Literally. As simple as that sounds, he accepts everyone and anyone. Don't let these Christian people tell you that he won't accept you because you're gay, or because you cuss, or because you have tattoos, or because you support the LGBTQ community, or you're part of it, or whatever the case may be, or because of how you dress, how you carry yourself. Don't let these people tell you that, because God will love you no matter what. It's not up to these people to say you're going to heaven, you're not. Like, it's not up to people, okay? They're just judging based off of their beliefs. But talk to God. Get closer to God. And you will realize how much he accepts you for who you are. Okay? Don't let all these people, I've had a few people try to tell me, like, I'm a child of God, and whatever you're doing is like not a child of God, not a godly thing. And it's like, sweetie, it's not up to you to determine if I'm going to heaven or not. You're not God. Your judgment does not even matter. Your judgment is not even valuable. I don't care about your judgment, girly. I only care about God's judgment. And y'all should have that shield, that Jesus Christ shield around you guys. Okay? If you don't believe in Jesus Christ, whoever you believe in, or to keep it, relatable, God. I swear to God, like, guys, like, ever since I got closer to God, I realized that people are you just cannot live for people. You gotta live for God. And let's bring it back though. So that brings me back to the sense of abundance. Recovering a sense of abundance. A lot of us feel like, money is not a godly thing, but money comes from God. So ask God for that help, is basically what she's saying here. She also talks about like how like a lot of artists struggle with advancing their artistry or chasing their dreams and becoming an artist, because I have to, quote unquote, I have to keep a roof over my head, or nobody's going to pay me to be more creative, which a lot of us do feel like that. I do too sometimes. This is another quote she mentions. I want to be an actress, but God wants me to wait tables and hash joints. Okay. She also mentions going back to God. Okay, remember guys, this is a very spiritual book. What if God's a woman and she's on my side? Some of us wonder that which blocks us from receiving God's goodness. You know what I'm saying? His resources. We cut ourselves from receiving what God has to offer because we're questioning everything. What if God's a woman and she's on my side? For others, it's a God of energy. For still others, a collective of higher forces moving us toward our highest good. If you are still dealing with a God consciousness that has remained unexamined since childhood, you are probably dealing with a toxic God. And that's because we were taught that. And you know, like, you gotta go easy on these older people. The prior generation, some millennials, sure, but I'm Gen Z. I'm barely Gen Z. I feel like a zillennial though. I don't even label myself a Gen Z girl. I feel weird saying that. I'm a zillennial. Okay? For those of you that don't know. But what was the generation before millennials? Gen X? Grew up with this mentality that we have to be Miss Goody Two Shoes. We cannot get tatted. We cannot get piercings. You gotta be this, you gotta be that, you gotta dress like this, you gotta act like this, you cannot cuss, you cannot this, you cannot be gay, all that stuff, right? And unfortunately, the prior generations, that's all they knew of. That's all they believed in. But now that we're getting older and we're starting to realize stuff, it's like I feel like a lot of us are realizing that God accepts us for who we are. And if you don't realize that now, you will if you continue to get a better relationship with God. Because these are all what people say. Obviously, dude, you gotta do right things. You cannot be like stealing like that, like obviously, like if you steal, like ask for forgiveness, right? But for the most part, try to be a better person every day. Try to work on yourself. If you've noticed that you're treating people poorly, work on yourself. Don't continue that cycle. At the end of the day, you're just hurting yourself. But God wants you to be happy. God wants us to be happy. And form that relationship with God. Don't let these people dictate if God wants to help you or not. He does. He wants to help all of us. He loves all of us. But sorry, I should not be cussing. I'm sorry, God. But you see, like, I have a lot of respect for God, and it's limited to my beliefs, right? Because everyone has different beliefs. But that's how my relationship with God is, right? But He wants you to reach out to Him. He wants you to be mad at Him. He wants you to talk to Him. He just wants you to reach out to Him. And if it's a her for you, if it's an energy and it for you, then whatever suits you. But God wants to be there for you, but He can only be there for you if you reach out. Do we comprehend here? So this chapter talks a lot about God, because a lot of us lack a sense of abundance because we're so afraid that we're taking advantage of God. God is gonna get mad at us. Money is bad, materialistic, all that stuff. We have a new employer at the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous premises. And so when it comes time for us to choose between a cherished dream and a lousy current drudgery, we often choose to ignore the dream and blame our continued misery on God. This is an important one, because a lot of us do not chase our dreams because we're so busy chasing for the money. Oh, I need to pay the bills. And honestly, for the most part, yeah, Like, we're living in a world where we have to pay bills. We have to work. You know, and that's what sucks, dude. Like, that's another thing that got me into my existential crisis last year, to the point that I just did not want to live anymore. Like, I just saw no point in living. And that's why I am where I am now with everything, because I got to a point where I really wanted to not live anymore. I wanted to take my life away, because I just saw how miserable this country is. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything is just money. Everything has been built for us to work. Literally. Everything in the United States, okay, I don't know about the other countries, but I'm sure the other countries a little bit too, has been built for us to work our asses off, to stay poor and make the rich richer. But some of us are tired of that shit, and we take our own route. And that's literally the position that I'm in right now. Luckily though, guys, I've been working mad hard since 18 years old. Okay, I'm 28. It's been 10 years of hard work. Okay, working 9 to 5s, up and down, even 2 jobs at one point. Okay, while studying too. And I saved up a lot of money, God. But I thank God, like, dude, everything happens for a reason. This whole time, I was saving up so much money, right? And I would be telling myself, like, I don't know what I'm saving for, but I'm saving up for an emergency. Girl. And now I'm able to really just invest in my own little business. And I'm chasing my dreams. And you can too. All of us can. Whatever dream you want to have, you want to pursue, we can do it. And this is what I like this part of the book, because a lot of us continue our 9 to 5s, blaming everything on God. Not a lot of us, okay, it's some of us. When in reality, we're the ones making that choice, not God. You know, God has gifted us with these talents, and we choose the other route. But I get it, sometimes we gotta pay the bills. Like, we're living in a lifetime where we have to pay the bills. We have to get that money. So look for a job that's gonna help you with your dreams. Look for a job that you enjoy, that you're not torturing yourself with. Save up while you're also chasing your dreams on the side. Put in some time. Another thing she mentions is luxury. Like, make sure to fulfill your luxury, things that are luxurious to you. And let me clarify, this doesn't mean she says it here too, this doesn't mean a penthouse view with designer clothes, foreign sport cars, and first class travel. She means smaller things, like for me, something that is so luxurious to me, oh my God, so luxurious to me, is to buy some bomb food. And I always say this, buy some bomb food and just watch some classic, or just watch movies, some classic movies or new movies, good movies. That is just so luxurious to me. Just buying some bomb food, being around people that love me and support me, and watching a good movie. That's it. Or having a bonfire with people that I love and just munching out, or just sitting there looking at the fire, watching the stars at night. Being around the beach, the river. Those things to me are like so fulfilling. She mentions how some people just like to buy a box of raspberries, and to them a fresh farmer's market box of raspberries is everything to them. It could be as small as that, you know, and you gotta fulfill that. So that your spirit is still up and positive and radiating positivity. And then right here, I like how she has this like money madness. Like, I guess a lot of us think how we feel about money. And I just kind of answered them on my own, like people with money are happier. Money makes people happier. I'd have more money if I was putting in more work. And I'm already putting in a lot of work, girl. I don't know what I'm talking about, but putting in different type of work of selling, pure selling. My dad thought money was powerful, valuable, the most valuable thing in this earth. My mom always thought money would get her out of the ghetto and buy her a house. Not rent a house, but buy a house. In my family, money caused a lot of problems. Money equals financial freedom. If I had money, I'd invest. If I could afford it, I'd travel. If I had some money, I'd invest, girl. I'm afraid that if I had money, I would spend it quick on my investments. You see, like, it has good little exercising. But that's it for week 6, guys. I think it was a great week to just make me feel better, because I struggle with that. I have sometimes I struggle with the scarcity mindset. I'm always like feeling like there's a limit. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm strong and I know that that God is limitless. He's unlimited. But sometimes I'm so caught up in the moment. I'm so caught up in all this work, all this stuff that I'm doing, that I forget that God is unlimited. And I start to feel like, oh my God, I gotta do it now. Because today is the only moment that I have. And like, I've taken a few breaks from my live stream and I feel so bad, Part of me feels so bad, but my spirit needs it. But also because I've been working hard, girl. I've been working mad hard right now. So like, that's why I'm not that mad, because I'm like, you know what? When I come back, I'm gonna come back. Like, I'm gonna come back, bitch. So we're gonna be working on a lot of things, y'all. But other than that, guys, I love y'all. You guys have a good one. Don't forget to follow, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what y'all think of today's week. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. If you guys want me to change something up, please let me know. I want to improve these videos for you guys, but I don't know if you guys are not telling me. If you guys are struggling, let me know, girls. Like, I have so much advice that I could give. And that's another thing that I'm trying to do, is just work hard and even make friends, but genuine friends, because there's a lot of people that are vultures. Girl, when they see you putting yourself out here like that, there are so many vultures. They only want you because of the benefits that you offer. But when you cut off those benefits, where are they? Cuckoo. They're fucking gone. They're gone because you cut off that benefit. You cut off that cord. So now they know, oh, I can't benefit off of her. Let's treat her poorly and let's leave. And let's go leech off of someone else. Horrible. And I always knew that. I always knew it, but I was just kept giving the benefit of the doubt. But now I have solidified a lot of stuff, guys. So I'm gonna be working on making friendships, but with genuine people. You know me, I have standards when it comes to friends. I have mad standards. My standards are just like with relationships. My standards are up, girl. And it doesn't mean he has to be tall or she has to be short, cute, beautiful. None of that. My standards are respect, being genuine, showing love. Or if they struggle with showing love, that's fine. Show respect. But I would love people that show love, that are not afraid to show love. So let me take that back. I want those type of friends that are not afraid to show love. You know, I want friends that are genuine, that are kind-hearted, that are not insecure, or that if they do face some insecurity, that they are able to control their emotions. Because a lot of people get so insecure and they start acting out of their emotions, getting mad, showing passive aggressiveness, saying passive aggressive comments. You know, like, I don't want those people. I want people that are emotionally intelligent. Emotionally intelligent, bitch. Now I want people that are kind-hearted, that want to fulfill my dream, my cup, and I fulfill their cups. You know, because I have a lot of good, positive energy to give, guys, because I've been through a lot. And it's just so hard to find women that are like that. A lot of women are just not like that. And I get it. Some people are going through a lot. I get it. Some people are going through so much. You know, but there's people out there that go through a lot and still are genuine and kind-hearted. And I'm still on the search for those people. I have not found them. I have not found anyone that I could genuinely be friends with, because they always show this like mean side, this jealousy, envious, passive aggressive side of them. And I'm tired of dealing with people like that. I'm cutting you right off. You have no access to me no more. So yeah, I'm trying to find those genuine people, because some people act like they're genuine. Some people act like they're kind-hearted and genuine. Girly, I don't know why they think that they could convince me. Girl, you ain't convincing shit. You're not convincing shit. I see right through all of that. I just act like I don't, because that's my way of protecting myself and my peace. But deep down, I know exactly what y'all are doing. And it's crazy because a lot of people that I haven't, that try to come into my life, they work collectively. They feed off of each other's energy. It's ridiculous. It's crazy to me. But you know what, guys? This is why have high standards when it comes to friends. Not just for relationships. Have high standards, girl. Anyways, I gotta use the restroom. I love you guys. You guys have a good one. Be safe, be responsible, be respectful. And I will see you on the next one. Love y'all.